Before we get into the tips that I'd like to share today, I first wanted to just share a little bit about who I am. I'm a wedding photographer, filmmaker, and just overall person that enjoys making videos. There's a friend of mine who I opened up to about my struggles with OCD, and she recommended that I basically approach it from a perspective of writing down advice I would give to my younger self now that I've experienced it for 11 years and I'm a little bit older and I have more awareness about how my brain works. What advice would I give to my younger self? So I'm really excited to get into it, and let's start talking. So tip 1 is that you should not define yourself by your diagnosis or define yourself by being unwell. I would say, based off of my experience, I started having symptoms when I was a teenager. These were certain compulsions, such as repetitious prayer and counting and walking through doorways several times before I felt comfortable, just various things like that. It wasn't really cleanliness. It was more of me trying to clean out my mind of things that frightened me. I started going to therapists. I started seeing counselors, and it developed in me this fundamental belief that I was unwell, that the reason I'm seeing all these people is because there's something different and something wrong with me. And I think that that is a very damaging way to view yourself. One of the most important things that we have as humans is our ability to choose to see ourselves the way we want to see ourselves. And I feel like it's just very important for people, especially impressionable young kids or teenagers, to claim their identity in something bigger than their diagnosis. All right, so tip 2, you cannot control your thoughts. We have a stream of consciousness, and it is constantly absorbing things around our environment, around the culture and the stuff we watch and the things we read and the things we hear about in the news. And you cannot control every thought that passes through your mind. You have to learn how to accept that you cannot control your thoughts and that you cannot control certain things about your life. And while that sucks and none of us want to hear it, it actually is freeing, because once you learn that you do not hold any sort of accountability for your thought life, you start to claim the areas of your life that you do have freedom in. I mean, have you ever noticed how you have all kinds of extraneous thoughts that enter your mind that you didn't come up with? You know, musicians talk about how certain lyrics or certain melodies came to them. It wasn't that they created them. It literally came from somewhere else. And the only way that your OCD is going to get better is through yielding and giving in to that rather than fighting it. Certain people will understand how this relates to what's known as ERP, or exposure response prevention therapy. And when I was a teenager, I was scared to death of this particular therapy. I've tried neurofeedback therapy. I've tried CBT. I've tried a number of different talk therapies. And those are good, but sometimes they're not effective in curing OCD. And, you know, ERP is a therapy that has been known to be the most effective to cure OCD and to restore people. If you can split yourself into 2 parts and realize, I make decisions, and that comes from my identity, who I am as a human being. But my thought life is an entirely different place. And, you know, ERP is a therapy that has been known to be the most effective to cure OCD and to restore people. Tip 3 is, you are not defined by your thoughts, you are defined by your actions. So this was actually a statement that was shared with me by a therapist, and I definitely gravitated towards it when I heard it, because that's true. We have the ability to choose how we want to act towards others and towards ourselves. And the last thing that I wanted to mention, which is a tip, I guess it's tip 4, is you need to understand that self-esteem comes from looking back at actual proactive choices that you've made in life. I have to attach myself to something that I have done or shared with another person that is meaningful to me to start seeing an ability to climb out of this. And the truth is, you can still live a life outside of this diagnosis. And what I mean by that is not that you don't have this diagnosis anymore, but that you have learned how to maintain life and the goals you have for your life despite OCD trying to pull you down all the time. And that comes for me personally through seeing the goals that I have achieved, the self-esteem that I can build up within myself, where I can achieve the things that my OCD brain tells me I cannot. So I would recommend that you think of small goals that you can achieve in the near present future. They might be hobbies that you've wanted to pursue and you're like, your brain just tells you, you're not going to be any good at that. They might be goals for, your career. They could be, small steps towards a relationship. There's different things that we have in our lives that we want. And the fact that OCD pulls away from us the ability to function well, it causes in us doubt in ourselves. And it causes us to believe that we will always be this way. That is a trap that OCD pulls you into, to continue to focus on it, and it magnifies the problem. It makes it so much bigger. You need to learn that, and I need to learn. I wish my younger self, my teenage self, would have learned that you are a person that cannot hold the weight of the whole world, that cannot be brought down by every bad thing you hear about or every bad thought you have. At the end of the day, you're just one person. So I hope that these tips, it's more of a rant that I just shared with you, but it's been on my mind, these various tips. I hope that they are encouraging. We all need to continue to grow together. So thank you again.